All right, guys, we are heading into fantasy football week 3. So I've got an episode here, and it's called Make or Break. Why is it so important? Because if these players don't make it this week, they might break, and I'm going to cut them off my team. Yes, 8 make or break players that have had 2 weeks to wow me. And guess what, guys? I'm not wowed. Going to go over this list briefly, and their stats can speak for themselves. So 8 players that need to step up in week 3, or else I'm going to break, and I'm going to snap, and I'm going to cut them off my team. So very important episode here, guys. We're heading into fantasy football week 3. Now, I get hungry during games. I don't know about you guys, but I get hungry. I'm going to give you guys an amazing discount on some amazing food. Head on over to Hooters.com right now or download the app. Use code FFC20. Save yourself $10 on order of 30 or more on takeout or delivery, guys. FFC20, Hooters.com. Go to the site right now, order some wings, order some nachos, order some amazing food. They've got an amazing menu of great food that you can get for takeout or delivery, and you can save $10 on an order of 30 or more. That's FFC20, guys, Hooters.com, or simply, guys, download the app. Go do that right now. Go try the food, and you can experience this during game time. Sunday night football, Monday night football, Thursday football. We got you covered here, guys. Hooters.com, FFC20. Go do that right now. All right, let's talk about these players now. We're talking 8 make or break players. I got a list here. I'm going to dive into it with you guys. Excited to do that. And the first guy here, I got to talk about this, okay? And again, I was not high on him, but I thought he was good third-round value. And I just talked about him in a recent episode. I got to bring it up again. Is Zeke Elliott here, guys. Zeke Elliott, guys. 25 attempts. And that's the problem. I want that in a game. 25 attempts in 2 games, all right? We need to have him step it up, okay? Zeke Elliott is the first guy that's in a make or break week. We all hear about Pollard stepping in. He's been doing it over the past couple years. This year, it's like he had a big breakout run last week with Pollard did, and Zeke Elliott has been falling by the wayside now. So I'm hoping Zeke Elliott does step it up this week, and he does pick it up because, again, I'm not happy with these numbers. Sitting 48th amongst running backs, 25 attempts, 105 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, and I don't see any touchdowns. He's actually got -7 receiving yards. So Zeke Elliott has to step it up in a make or break week. I may cut him, and I have him in one league, and I may cut him, all right? Now the thing is with a guy like this, if he does bad, you don't want to trade him right away. What I would do is I would end up keeping him, wait for a big week if he even gets that, and then trade him high. People will think he's coming back, but he probably won't be, So this is going to be a real telling tale, right? Week 3 is going to be a huge telling tale on how these guys do moving forward, all right? Second guy here, Rashad Penny. Now, I don't have any Rashad Penny stock, but he's currently sitting 51st amongst running backs in PPR. Now, this is a guy that the mainstream consensus were really promoting, really pushing. The guy's had, 18 attempts for 75 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 3 targets, 2 receptions. Again, people are like, oh, Rashad Penny this, Rashad Penny that, because he came on strong at the end of last season. But I told you, this guy has sucked for years. How bad has he sucked? Super bad. So bad that, in fact, he only had, 5 rushing touchdowns in his first 3 seasons, okay? He's never rushed prior to last year. First 3 years, didn't even rush for over 420 yards. He had 419, 370, and 34 yards in his first 3 years. Had injury issues, couldn't stay healthy. Don't trust him, and people were telling you to draft him. Now, Kenneth Walker, first game last week, didn't have a good game either, but hopefully they start integrating him a lot more. Now, the Seahawks defense does look a little bit rough. They're going to have some issues, but Rashad Penny, if he's going to return that investment, a lot of you guys drafted him 5th, 6th round, and you drafted him as like an RB2 on your team, spent 0 RB, and listen to the Kinship says, Rashad Penny has to step it up this week. Another make or break kind of player, Rashad Penny. I have no stock, but if you guys got him, he's got to step it up, but I don't think he will now that Kenneth Walker is getting more integrated. So Rashad Penny, I told you he sucks. First 2 weeks, he's proving he sucks. Will that continue? Something to watch, right? The sucking, that is. All right, next guy here is Travis Etienne. Now, Travis Etienne is sitting 35th amongst running backs currently in PPR. And a lot of people, spent high draft capital on him, round 4, round 5. They like him, And again, at the end of the day, this guy was supposed to be a receiving back, and he's done nothing. What has he done in regards to receiving? 7 targets, 5 receptions in 2 games for 51 yards and no touchdown, not even rushing or receiving. So Travis Etienne's a guy that, again, has to step it up week 3, but he won't because James Robinson's there that the mainstream didn't tell you about. And I was telling you in 60 rounds, stash James Robinson. Sure enough, Robinson has emerged as the RB1. Not even emerged. He was the RB1 to begin with, but people said 0 RB, go 0 RB, get your wide receivers and make Etienne a primary guy with massive ceiling. The guy sucks, right? Well, not that he sucks. I don't even know. It's only been 2 games, but he hadn't played a regular NFL season game, and people jumped the gun. I was like, you're forgetting about James Robinson. The main excuse was, oh, he's got a torn Achilles, this and that. He's still James Robinson. He's been efficient when he's been on the field. And sure enough, he's showing it this year. Okay, so Travis Etienne has to show that he can do something this week. And if he does, I would trade him because I don't believe in him at all. So hopefully he has a big game if you own him. And then you could just dump him off and trade high, all right? Next guy here, Russell Wilson, sitting 20th amongst quarterbacks. Now, Russell Wilson, this is not even my mistake, but hopefully he steps up because I can't even say it's a mistake after 2 weeks completely. Sitting 20th amongst quarterbacks. Mistake saying that I thought he's going to be an ace quarterback. He's always has been. Now, the team change I thought would actually benefit him, although it has not. It has not a lot. At all. 86.5% passer rating, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, the problem here is the offense just isn't 100%. Jerry Jeudy got banged up with the shoulder. I don't think they're fully in sync. They didn't get to play any preseason games, or they held their players back because they want to preserve them. But now it's sacrificed them because they haven't played that well. I think they're now 1-1, but barely beat the Texans last week. So Russell Wilson, I think he's really got to say, hey, I'm back. He's got to prove it because he got paid a lot, right? He's got to step it up. Literally a make or break week in regards to Russell Wilson, in regards to kind of what to expect from him. We've had a couple weeks now, get him settled in. He's got to step it up. So Russell Wilson, another guy that I'm going to be monitoring very closely to see if he's in a make or break. Now, a lot of these other guys here that I'm going to mention, the next 4, are also in kind of a make or break situation where 3rd week, it's going to be a telling tale. It's going to answer a lot of questions. 1 week they had a big week. 2nd week, a lot of people, had bad weeks. Jefferson, good week. Example, Jefferson, good week 1, bad week 2. Same with Jamar Chase, right? A.J. Brown. A lot of these guys had good week 1s. Jonathan Taylor, bad week 2. So week 3 is going to be a telling tale for a lot of these guys, okay? Got 4 more to rip through here for you guys. Before I do, again, head on over to manscaped.com. Use code SHOWERLINE20. Go treat yourself. Try the boxers, try the underwear, and get the Lawnmower 4.0. Got to give them a plug because I only promote stuff I believe in. That's manscaped.com. The code you want to use, guys, is SHOWERLINE20. Go treat yourself, guys, right now. Experience it, guys. Manscaped.com, SHOWERLINE20. Save yourself 20%. Try the body wash, shampoo, underwear. You'll absolutely love it, all right? And also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys click subscribe. We go all year long. Just because you did your draft does not mean it's over. We go year long, all right? Subscribe. All right. Number 5 here. So we talked about Zeke Elliott. He's got to step up. Rashad Penny, which I don't think he will, but he's got to step up. Travis Etienne. Again, Robinson's there. I don't think he'll step up. So Kasheeps has screwed you on Rashad Penny and Etienne. We'll see if I'm right after week 3 because it's going to tell us more. Russell Wilson. The next guy, I'm not going to spend too much time on him because he's not worth my time as of yet. I don't even want to talk about him because he's been sucking. 2 receptions for 4 yards. The guy I'm talking about is Darnell Mooney, sitting 128th in rankings right now amongst wide receivers. I mean, here's the good news. The Texans allowed the 10th most in fantasy points for wide receivers in the past couple weeks. So Darnell Mooney's in a situation where a defense could give up a lot of points against, could give up a lot of fantasy points, which means this is a week he could really emerge. And I believe they give up 2 100-yard receiving yards to wide receivers the past couple weeks as well. So Darnell Mooney, again, in a good position to actually flourish. And they got to get him the ball. 5 targets? Maybe 5 targets in the first quarter, maybe, for a guy who's slated as the wide receiver 1, was coming off typically in rounds 4 to 6 in drafts in a 12-person league. He has to step it up. This is it. And he's probably getting ridiculed a lot. Same with Justin Fields. They have to step it up. So Darnell Mooney, literally make or break week, or you're getting cut. You're getting benched. I'm done with you, all right? Big time. This guy's really on the radar because he's talented. He had a good season last year. He looked okay. But as of late, just absolutely crap in the bed. Must have to step up. Make or break week, all right? Let's keep going on here. I got a couple more. DK Metcalf, not a guy I was high on, but he was relatively high in drafts. People think he was going to duplicate the production he had with Russell Wilson last year. Now he's got a disaster at quarterback with Geno Smith, uncertainty, and that's led to 13 targets, 11 receptions, and he just can't seem to get it into a groove to produce top points. Like, we want to see DK Metcalf in the top 10, top 20, and he's not even that. So, again, 8.6 points week 1, 7.5, week 2. Will that improve? That's something we're going to have to monitor. Again, Seattle is a big question mark. That's the problem. Now he's sitting 58th, guys, amongst wide receivers in fantasy points, 16.1. But Seattle's got to improve, and they got to be more consistent. DK Metcalf is a guy that I didn't invest in, but a lot of people did, and relatively early in drafts, not like second round, but after that. But he has to step it up. Bottom line, 71 yards. What do you have? 71 yards. 2 games. Okay. This is like, he's got, I mean, it's not, we look at it, it's not bad, but when you look at it in overall fantasy points compared to other wide receivers, right? 16.1 points in 2 games, unacceptable. We need to get at least 12-point floor games for a guy like DK Metcalf, especially with his speed and caliber, right? 2 more here. Let's rip through it. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And again, we go year round. I don't want you guys to miss any content throughout the season, all right? And join the Patreon group, guys. Patreon.com/FFCounselor for amazing community and direct access and amazing giveaways. In the Patreon community, we'll be giving away this A.J. Brown card this week, all right, guys? Appreciate you guys, so make sure you guys join there, all right? I appreciate the Patreon. I appreciate you regular listeners, but the Patreon members, they get some extra perks. So patreon.com/FFCounts, all right? And again, there'll be more giveaways ongoing. 2 more guys. I'm not going to spend too much time on these guys either because they've pissed me off. I've got no stock in this guy, but CeeDee Lamb sitting 45th amongst wide receivers. He's had 22 targets, 9 receptions. That's the problem, right? 2 receptions on 11 targets in the first week for 4.9 points, 7 receptions for 11 targets for 15.1. I mean, week 2, he kind of emerged a little bit, but he has to step it up. I don't care about the quarterback issues. Get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. That's all I got to say. Obviously, the Cowboys as a whole are struggling completely. Dak Prescott now hurt, right? He's hurt. Cooper Rush is in. Schultz was banged up. It's been a disaster, absolute disaster, okay? So CeeDee Lamb, though, if healthy, which he is, should step it up, especially a guy who's being drafted in the second round. Absolutely crazy. And the final guy here is Derrick Henry. Now, I may not cut him again, even if he craps the bed. He held his own last week with, barely hanging on here with a touchdown. Derrick Henry, okay, has to step it up. I don't want to hear this. He played Buffalo. I know it's a good excuse. Last week, Buffalo's a good defense, but he is currently sitting 36th amongst running backs, okay, in fantasy points, 16.7. The good news is the attempts are there. He had 34 attempts the past 2 weeks, okay? That makes him a top dog, all right? Now, the only people that had more attempts, Nick Chubb, but he's obviously played 3 games. Joe Mixon, Leonard Fournette, he's number 8 in attempts, Derrick Henry is in the past 2 weeks, right? 34 attempts, so that's good. 107 yards, but 3.1 yards per carry and 1 touchdown. 3.1 yards per carry is where I have the problem. And again, week 3 is going to be a telling tale because we're going to see, it's going to separate the men from the boys. So Derrick Henry, make or break, you have to step up. I don't know how to tell you. You've got a favorable matchup. So Derrick Henry, step up. CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, Darnell Mooney, Russell Wilson, Travis Etienne, Rashad Penny, and Zeke Elliott. 8 make or break players this week. Are they going to step up? I think Zeke has a chance. I think Darnell Mooney has a chance. I think CeeDee Lamb has a chance. I think Etienne and Penny, they're in trouble. And again, the mainstream told you to draft these guys, forgetting about Walker and Robinson, who I think are going to be significant thorns and impacts and could emerge in the case of Walker as the RB1, whereas James Robinson already is. And the mainstream didn't tell you that. They said draft Etienne. He's got tons of upside. He's got rapport with, his quarterback, Lawrence. It's like, why don't we talk about James Robinson, which is what I was telling you guys. And I had the beat writer on, the Jacksonville beat writer, and he was telling me, Robinson's going to be the RB1. I'm like, okay, cool. I know that. If you guys listen to the podcast, subscribe, you would know that. But the mainstream didn't tell you that, right? So there's 8 players, make or break week 3. I am super excited, guys. And remember, head on over to Hooters.com and save $10 an order or 30 or more on takeout or delivery, guys. Hooters.com or download the app, all right? Select locations across the USA. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. Subscribe. Week 3 is upon us. And follow on social because I'm going wild on social. Lots of fun there. Appreciate you guys. I'm out.